We'll stay then with the multiple tavern shootings that have taken place across the country and take a look at the role of community policing forums. We're joined by the Gauteng Community Policing Forum's Nehson Pillay. Nehson, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. We know that, CPFs are central in helping to firstly identify some of the more immediate threats that communities face. Do you think that there's a way they could be brought in as far as the violence we're seeing at some of these liquor outlets are concerned?
Yes, good evening, Kathy, and good evening to the viewers. Certainly, the CPF is a organization of volunteers that police partner that bridged the community with the police. So our role is to be eyes and ears, and wherever the community has any information on any criminal activity, they can either contact the police or work with the CPF structures, and our structures will inform the police on such activities for investigation.
When it comes to the strengthening of community policing forums, we know that often resources can be a big challenge, and it really hinders the amount of work that any forum is able to do.
Yes, it obviously varies from area to area in terms of the volunteer strength. But, what the community must remember is we have a very strong oversight role with the police, as well as enablement. So in some areas, our volunteers have day jobs and, they will get involved in activities in the evenings and the weekends. In some instances, we have retired folks that are getting involved in the CPF. But every CPF structure works on a multi-stakeholder discipline approach, engaging with businesses, with security companies, with the local taverns in this case, and obviously bridging the gap between those business stakeholders, the tavern owners, the communities within that area, and finding information about criminal activity and feeding that back to the police is quite critical. But I must say, it also involves the community engaging. It involves the community reporting such crimes so that there is an awareness of such types of incidents.
Given that broad involvement of just the different stakeholders you've spoken about, what advice would you have for communities that do have a lot of taverns or even shebeens in the areas? Because often you do have this tension that arises between those establishments and members of the community.
So the CPF can assist the community to anonymize some of those concerns. As you know, being a whistleblower also has risks. So the community can make a decision to either report any information to the police anonymously. There are mechanisms such as Crime Line, or the community should be aware of their CPF members in the area. There's sectors, we match the police's structure. So you would typically have, monthly meetings at a sector, which are open platforms, and then there are also closed platforms that the community can get involved in. In some of the areas, there are liquor traders associations that the CPF works with to try and build a bridge between the community and these associations. I would summarize it to say that engagement from these stakeholders are important, but equally, we as a CPF also have to reach out and find better reach with these communities to solicit such information.
Of course, there's still the concern about the level of threat that whether it is the establishments themselves or even members of the community, the level of threat they may come under, given the fact that, generally, liquor outlets are seen as a big target for criminality in this country. And when we look at the murder rate, it often is very much linked to surroundings of liquor outlets, if not taking place within these outlets.
Yes, so it's no secret that, places where alcohol is sold can contribute to violence. And it does affect the community. In these type of cases, I think both the police and the CPF have a role to play to make sure that we, in our case, we assist with oversight to make sure that there's compliance. These outlets close at the correct time. We don't have underage drinking that happens. So the CPF does play quite an important role. You may be aware that we've got a large patroller network that do patrol the streets and do look out for these type of incidents. But, our role as CPF, we're not law enforcement. We are the eyes and ears of the police, and we are the custodians of the community in terms of complaints and oversights and follow-ups. So it's always going to be a challenge working in these type of environments. But I can tell you, from what I am aware, our members are on the ground and working tirelessly. Law enforcement may have resource issues, but they are patrolling these hotspots, and we encourage the community to report these crimes so that we have awareness of these incidents.
Gauteng Community Policing Forum's Nehson, Pillay. Let's leave it there for tonight.